I'll just write one more time. You can just observe. So gateway is a one type of entry and exit. Gateway will go to Eureka, get the microservice data and execute the microservice. This is called routing. Okay. So here we will see gateway coding part here. Observe. First, you should have created Eureka server. Second one, microservice application. Third, gateway service. Okay. So existed applications I'm better closing. Okay, I'll create one more time here. First, Eureka server. Dependency we have to choose only Eureka server. File new starter project here. Next button. Go to search with Eureka server. Okay, at main class, we have to apply one annotation, enable Eureka server. Application.properties. There I'm writing port number. And self-registration must be disabled. And register with Eureka must be disabled. This application properties file here. So this is just a Eureka configuration. Now you can run the main class here. Go to browser, localhost 8761. You can see Eureka started here. Okay. Now second, I'm just using microservice application I'm writing. You write any service, not a issue here. So here at microservice application, I'm just creating the employee service. Of course, you can write anything even. Dependency, I'm writing Spring Web. This time, Eureka discovery client we need to add. File new starter project. Okay, we have to choose web dependency. Okay, and also Eureka discovery client dependency. Employee service is created. At employee service main class, at microservice application main class, we have tried enable Eureka client. And here I'm writing application.properties. Okay, in application.properties, I'm just writing port number and service ID. Eureka location. Okay, and instance ID. Instance ID is a combination of application name and a random value. So these are the key values I just mentioned at microservice. Like normal application only. Okay, I'm writing one REST controller here. You can use existed one also, but I just want to show it from beginning. One REST controller I'm creating here. The employee REST controller. Already we wrote product. Yes, you can use that one even. REST controller request mapping slash employee. I'm writing a simple method here. Response entity string show data. Welcome to all. It's a get mapping slash. So I'm just going to run this application multiple times. So I'll print port number just to have a clarity that load balancing supported or not. Otherwise, printing port number is not required. Now this is a port. Okay, this is a normal REST controller you can see. Now coming to gateway service. Observe from here. So in the gateway service, first I'll write one application with a dependency gateway, and it is also registered with Eureka Discovery Client. I'm just giving name Spring Cloud Gateway. Okay. Second thing, so at main class, of course, it is also registered here, and application.properties, also normal one. The most important here is routing config class. This routing config class is going to have data like ID. What is a configuration ID? For which path, what URL or service? There's actually service ID we have to mention here. So which path, of course, where to go? Actually, we have to mention here. Okay. For example, request comes with slash employee, go to employee service. A request comes with slash product, go to product service. This is actually called routing configuration. We have to give. This configuration is identified using one number, that's ID. Any ID you can give it. Okay. Let me create this application. So file, new starter project here. Cloud gateway. Just I'm choosing a gateway here. Next. So this is Eureka Discovery Client. Next button and finish button. Cloud gateway. At main class, even this one register with Eureka. Enable Eureka client. Okay. And the recommended port number 80, of course, you can write any port number and mention spring dot application dot name gateway Eureka dot the location of Eureka like this I mentioned. Gateway service. This one is to register with Eureka, not microservice communication here. One microservice connected with another by using thin client only. Here also same, but internal generated. Now look at the routing configuration here. I'm writing. Okay. Routing config. There I'm writing a Java based configuration. Now there I just want to create here I want to mention routing details. Observe route locator. This is actually object, but route locator is an interface. Okay, just I'm writing here configure routes. Okay, route locator builder. We actually using here return null. There I'm writing one bean. Okay. It's a class type mistake. We need to configure a class. This class actually contains what? ID, path, and where to go, URI, for one microservice. We have multiple microservices, repeat the same. So here we have to write the builder and you configure the routes. Finally call a method build. Okay, now for one microservice, see what I'm writing here. One route ID we need to mention here, and using some lambda expression here, it's function interface, right? For which path, what URI. Okay, just some ID will be there. Any ID you can give. Slash some path slash stars. Okay, use the load balancer code internally. Some service name we have to structure. This is for one microservice. Understand? In the browser, they'll enter some path. The path what exactly they entered is matching here. Then take this name and go to Eureka. Okay, from there get the microservice data, execute, and get response back to browser. Okay, this is something like Eureka. This is microservice, but every time different instance will be selected. That is going to give response here. Okay, so let me take, okay, so here listen carefully. I have employee service. Okay, this is service name, employee service name. And this is a REST controller path slash employee. If someone make a request of slash employee, please come to employee service, I have to say. Then observe, it's a route. Just I'm giving here employee service ID, any ID is fine. Routing using lambda expression. Here is a path. Which path? It's actually slash employee and the URI. Just I want to mention load balancer LB. Internally uses thin client. Okay, communication is done by using clients only. See here. We have one more, something like a product service. Then you write slash product. It's a product service. You can repeat. Okay, like this we are going to write. For every microservice, this is repeated here. Okay, so this ID, just this ID is actually to store this data. See, this data is created as object and it is given with ID, something like reference variable. Somewhere we have to store this data, right? At the runtime, okay, it will create some storage object, route object for ID. How many routes are there based on the IDs? It will check here. Just for identification purpose only. Okay, which route is executed here? Easiest way. Okay, so here this is basic configuration. Okay, look at a route should contain ID for which path where to go here. LB load balancer. It will generate some fin client code internally and execute. Okay, in case of microservice to microservice, if you remember, we used fin client, but we wrote that. Now API gateway also one type of microservice and going. Here also fin client, but we don't write that. Oh, no need to write interface. Yeah, no need to write anything here. So just you configure this route based on that is executed here. Okay, that's actually benefit, but path and all you need to provide. Okay, so here it will use a load balancer. You can just see here internally. Same code is generated here. 2 stars mandatory. You have to give that indicates any subpath /employee/show /data/10. 2 stars indicates multi-level path. Something like // like that. That is going to indicate. Okay, now let us just run this and check it. Execution order. It's a Eureka server. Microservice application. 3 times you run. Gateway server. Running employee service application. One instance is created. Okay, change the port number and run one more time. Change port number and run one more time. Okay, now to run gateway service. And always use gateway IP address and port number to make the call. Gateway. Click on this one. Okay, don't use above URLs here. Just click on this. Okay, so modify the URL /employee/show. Refresh. Every time different instance it is fetching from Eureka and executing. As I gave the flow in the last session. No port number is required because the port number is 80. Either local host or just IP address, system name also fine. Though you give 80 and if you don't give 80 also same. Okay, port number 80 is a default, not 8080. Port number 80 is a default. Here it is taking. Look at carefully. So how the routing map is created here. How the routing map looks here. That actually storing the ID and route object. ID example is storing as a employee service ID. So the route object is created for which path. Example path is a request to actually contains with the employee /employee/show /employee/data. If a request comes with the employee, go to a service name. Okay, of course, service name is actually employee service. By taking this name, it will go to Eureka. Eureka returns, okay, that microservice object data. So it generates client code, load balancer client code, and execute to microservice here. Service name. Here LB means what? Load balance. You remember, okay, auto where the load balancer client call choose method, same code generated. Okay, so previously we wrote fin client, this time not even required that. This configuration, it's internally process generated here. Okay, so here, this is not the complete configuration. I'll show even at the mini project's case, one security pattern even. Okay, but this is a main part in the coding. Gateway has nothing here at main class and all. Okay, gateway major part is actually routing configuration only here. Okay, this route locator is an interface. This object is created using route locator builder. Okay, every config returns one route class object, and finally stored as list of route, means collection of objects here. If employee wants to communicate with other microservice, then use fin client in employee service. Add fin client, which I shown before. This is microservice only. Okay, again intra-communication, same concept. You can even use config server, admin server, and all here. Okay, I'm not confusing by adding all those. Okay, major part is this gateway server. At last, I'll mix everything and I'll show here one example. Okay, so here this is a gateway server. Even today evening session also there, you can attend the same, a different one. Okay, I'm starting their reactive programming. Okay, yes, evening session 7 p.m. class is there today. Interested can attend. Same thing will be repeated on tomorrow morning. Thank you for session. Okay, the details are available. Okay, evening 7 p.m. details and drive you want. Wait for a second. Remaining can leave.